Welcome to Meow Knows Fables. Learn wisdom through stories and grow through love and companionship.
The Little Duck's Pond. There was a little duck who lived beside a small, beautiful pond. The water was clear and bright under the sunlight. Little fish swam back and forth, and frogs sang on the lily pads. The little duck loved this place and came to swim here every day. But one day, the pond began to change. The water grew shallow, and it was no longer clear. The fish and frogs were crowded together and could not swim freely. The little duck felt sad. Her lovely pond didn't look the same anymore. The little duck became worried. "I want the pond to be the way it was." She grabbed a bucket, ran to the nearby stream, and brought back water. One bucket, then another, then another. But the water level in the pond did not rise at all. She worked until sunset. Her whole body felt sore from running. Just as she lifted the last bucket, her foot slipped. Splash! The bucket fell, broke on the ground, and the water spilled everywhere. The little duck stared at the broken pieces and at the pond that still looked the same. Her eyes grew wet with tears. That night, the little duck sat quietly beside the pond. She listened to the frogs calling in short, uneven croaks. In the dark water, she saw her worried face. "Something must be wrong," she whispered. Early the next morning, she walked around the pond again. At last, she noticed that a stone was missing from the edge. Water was slowly flowing out through the gap. The little duck hurried to bring another stone and pressed it into place. When she poured in more water, the pond finally began to rise. The little duck was overjoyed and jumped in with a splash. "Here! Where's the little frog? And the fish?" "I'm here, glub glub." A frog popped up from under the water, covered in mud. "Ha ha! You look like a little yellow frog," the duck laughed. The frog puffed up for a moment, then laughed too. The water was so muddy. The fish and I could barely see anything. The little duck thought for a moment. "Maybe I stirred up the mud when I poured in the water. When it settles, the pond will be clear again." She patted the little frog's head. "Let's play again tomorrow." The next morning, the little duck came to the pond once more. It had rained the night before, and the air felt fresh and cool. She was ready to jump into clear water and swim happily again. But the pond was still cloudy and yellow. Why hasn't it cleared? The wet grass squished softly under her feet as she walked around the pond again. This time, she found a trail of washed-out mud on a small slope. Rainwater had carried the mud into the pond. The little duck quickly placed stones to block the slope, and carefully cleaned the muddy edges. Under the warm sunlight, the water slowly turned bright again, shining like a smooth mirror on the grass. From that day on, the little duck never hurried into the water. Each time, she walked around the pond first, to check if the stones were firm and if the water was clear. The little pond stayed full and clean. The little frog returned to the lily pad to sing, and even made a new song for the duck. Its name was the guardian of the pond.
Meow knows. You grow. Water rising, water low, something hides beneath the flow. Find the cause, and then you'll know. Thank you for watching. Click the link below to download the ebook, free for a limited time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. More great stories are coming soon.